Do you feel welcome here?
Absolutely. I've been a part of the NAACP family for a long, long time, so this is coming home, and it's an opportunity to sort of come home in a different way with a new responsibility as chairman of the Republican National Committee, but still home.
I mean, there certainly seems to be some skepticism towards your party from among the NAACP faithful. What do you say to people who say the Republican Party is not our party?
Well, give us a chance. I appreciate that skepticism. I understand it. I know where it comes from. I know why it's there. But I also understand and appreciate the historic link between the NAACP and the GOP, for example, and certainly between the GOP and the African American community more broadly. So, you know, there's history on both sides here. There's history that talks about how the party was there to empower and free African Americans to really access this great country, and then there's history there that, you know, where the party walked away from the civil rights agenda in many respects for African Americans in the 60s. So my job now is to be the bridge, I think, as the chairman of the party, to sort of bring us to a new place. That's what I wanted to do today, was to not just come here and do the typical platitudes about, oh gee, can't we all get along, but actually put resources in place and to say, I'm committed to working with President Jellison, with the leadership of the NAACP, Julian Bond and others, to sitting down and working on those strategies that are important to the community, given these historic links between our two organizations.
Do you agree with President Obama's critique of particularly African American fathers needing to take more responsibility?
Well, every dad needs to be responsible for his children. I don't care what background or ethnicity you come from. It is a particular problem in the black community because, I mean, it goes back to our very origins here in this country. When you strip the male out of the family, as has been the case in the days of slavery, you set up a matriarchal system. There is a very different dynamic there. I think that there are a lot of societal ills that we can point to that have led to the degeneration of the black family and its sort of degradation overall. But now we have an opportunity, I think, to bring back the strength of the family through church, economic, educational, a host of other related areas where there's a synergy, if you will. So I think the president is right in his overall assessment that you know, there's got to be an emphasis placed on the role of men in the family. There's got to be an emphasis placed on the role of black men in society. There's still a lot of issues there that, because you have a black RNC chairman and a black president of the United States, do not mitigate the fact that black neighborhoods are still redlined, do not mitigate the fact that black kids are sitting in failing public schools. Their access to quality scholarship opportunities, entrepreneurial opportunities is not the same as others. This is why I read that quote from Kennedy from 1963, and I listened and watched to the room, and everyone agreed, yeah, wow, because they were thinking about today. And you tell me in 46 years nothing's changed? So we have, I think, a dynamic opportunity, and I think our party, given some of the things that we offer on education and economic opportunity, we can be there to help. I consider Sarah Palin a friend. I admire the courage it took for her to do what she's done. And she's looking out for her state and her family, and I think we should all respect that and not try to second guess her decisions. And if Sarah Palin wishes to be a part of what I'm doing in any way, shape, or form, Sarah, you are more than welcome.
On the Sotomayor hearings, do Republicans need to walk something of a tightrope for fear of alienating, you know, Hispanic voters? You talk about reaching.
No, I don't think there's a tightrope for us to walk here. I think there's only one path to walk, and that's the path to make sure that this nominee, as all nominees have been in the past, is appropriately vetted. And Judge Sotomayor has made statements that she needs to now clarify, explain, and put in the proper context. Because we don't want, I don't think the country is best served by having an activist jurist on the bench who, in the president's words, is empathetic to the person standing in front of him, blind to the fact that the law or the Constitution says this is the appropriate outcome. So that is a real concern for a lot of Republicans. It is not anti-Hispanic, it is not anti-Sotomayor. So I'm not going to fall for the Democrat talking points on this. The reality of it is that this justice nominee, as all others, who I think is getting a much fairer shot at explaining her case and her cause than any Republican has received under the Democrat control and over the last 8 years. Any Democrat Republican has received, I think is a very, very important point to make. So, you know, all the histrionics and the noise making by the Democrat members of the committee, just chill out, because we know what you did with Judge Alito and Judge Roberts, and Lord knows we know what you did with Justice Thomas. So I don't want to hear that. I think the Republicans are being prudent, they're being smart, and they're asking intelligent questions that she has to answer.